third. So the third of the 48 ways is ba'arichas sefasayim, right? Svas, to arrange it on your lips, to be able to say it, to talk it out, right? People say you have to have an elevator pitch, and you're trying to put together an internet startup, and someone asks you, what are you actually doing? You know? If you can't tell them what you're doing, then you don't understand what you're doing, right? Someone asks you, what do you do for a living? Hopefully you can say, this is what I'm doing, right? Your boss says, what's this project? How does it work? What's the idea? What's good? What's bad? Any complex concept, you have to be able to digest it, right? You know, you try to teach your kids, you know, when the teacher says, write a summary, right? Writing a summary is not the same thing as look through it and try to grab out, you know, 5 highlight sentences and list them out in order. It's like, can you grab what's said and digest it so you understand really what it is and what the essence of it is, and give back the essence of it? That's arichas sefasayim, right? That you can take an idea and state it out. If I can state it, I understand it, right? So, you know, we have, for example, the Shema, right? The fundamental underlying mission statement of the Jewish people. Right? What's a Jew believe? Shema Yisrael. Listen, Jew. Shema, hear it. Right? Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu. Hashem, the God, his attribute of mercy, is Elokeinu, is our God, is God who created us. There's only one that's the same. The God of physics, which is Elokeinu, and the God of personal intervention, it's the same. It's one God, right? Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. There's only one, right? You know, when I was a kid, and I'd be afraid of monsters, and my grandfather would say the Shema. The Shema is a reminder that really there are no monsters. And if there were monsters, they work for God. Right? There's only Shema, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Hashem runs the world. All these things, right? And He's just one. There's only one power. There's no such thing as money or jobs or cancer or earthquakes or floods or, right, economies or presidential elections. Right? You know, I'm so worried because X just, it's like, it's all God. It's all Hashem. There's only one power. But that's this mission statement, right? As a Jew, you can sum up how do Jews look at the world. The fundamental thing is this question of Hashem Echad. God is the only power. We don't believe in Manichaean dualism. There aren't two separate gods. There's no such thing as a Satan who's competing against God. There's no such thing as separate forces of evil that are external to God. There's no such thing as randomness and meaninglessness. Everything else that you're going to do as a Jew is going to flow out of this concept of there's only one power in the universe, and that's God. Right? And that it's Hashem. It's God and His attribute of mercy. Fundamentally and ultimately, how does God deal with you? Does He deal with you through His attribute of strict justice? No, He deals with the attribute of mercy. But we can say it in a word. He says the key to wisdom, the third key, is take an idea and assimilate it and think about it and integrate it and figure out how to say it. You may have to go back to your boss and work with him and say, you know, I'm trying to put together, you know, here's what I think we're all about. And he'll say, you got to be kidding. That's not what we're all about. It's this, or is that right? Right. But you got to get it down. Right? Talk to your wife. What's your life about? Talk to yourself. What are you trying to accomplish? Whatever it is, whatever the concept is, whether it's a business idea or politics idea, right? You have to be able to say it. So the first 3 pieces are, 1, to constantly be willing to learn, constantly open to learn. Second is you're not going to get anywhere unless you listen to what's actually being said, right? Is make sure that what you're taking in an objective, open, and clear fashion, and you're not lying to yourself and corrupting it by twisting it on its way in so you only get what you want. Third is you got to put some level of energy and effort into understanding it. And that work of understanding is called arichas sefasayim, is arranging it to be able to say it. That's what makes it clear and real. The fourth is bevinas halev, is understanding of the heart, is understanding emotionally who you are. That you have to know yourself. That, who am I? What motivates me? What is it that I'm really trying to accomplish in life? What am I afraid of? What hurts? What makes me happy? Right? That you should be the most you should be the most interesting person that you know. Right? the first three he's giving you are mechanical tools, right? Mechanical tools of how to hear an idea and make sure that you've got the factual ideas, right? That I can take and I can go straight to paper with that, right? I am listening to see what you're trying to teach me. I'm listening to hear what you're actually saying. I'm thinking it through so I have clarity. I can say it, I can write it down. That's the factual acquisition of information. But Rav Noach says you have to be emotionally involved with it. That you can't be abstract in your life. That if you really want chachma, if you want wisdom, you want to really understand how to have a job or how to have a wife or how to have a kid, that you have to learn how to put yourself into it. That it's not remote, right? It's real, right? And for it to be real, that means you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I listening to this? How does this affect me? How does it make me? Who am I? What's important to me? What's not important to me? What's that you have to understand your own motivations in life and work on. Are those good motivations or those bad motivations? Am I, but you have to make it part of yourself. That it's not. We talked about before this idea, the difference in Greek learning and Jewish learning. The Greek learning is about the acquisition of ideas. The Jewish learning is about changing the nature of who you are. It's all about growing. I'm trying to be better in my connection to my wife and my kids and other people. I'm trying to be connected to God. I'm trying to grow myself. He said for that you have to be, we're not Spock. To make it real, you have to stop and say, who am I? What am I? What's it about? Does it make me happy? You hear an idea, right? How does it make you feel? I mean, it sounds, lefty, girly, wishy-washy. But it's not. It's that you are driven, right? You're an animal. You're also a soul. And if you don't have a sense of what you're trying to accomplish in your life and what's important to you, what's not important to you, if you don't have a place or a way to categorize those ideas, then they're just cute little factlets. But it's not something that you can hear. Again, someone comes to me and gives me a piece of advice on how to listen. Right? If they presented it to me as marriage advice, well, I know myself. It's a very, very important thing to me for me to have a good relationship with my wife, and for her to have a good, comfortable life. I've thought through it. What drives me? I want her to have a good life. So I listen to ideas or things that affect that. When I think about, am I staying out till 2 in the morning and drinking with the guys or not? It comes back to that emotional kind of touchstone of what's important to me. What kind of person do I want to be? Is this fit my life? Does it not fit my life? Someone offers you a job and says, listen, you go to your meeting, you fly off to wherever you're flying off to, and they say, we love what you're doing with the program, and we got a launch place here in Virginia Beach or wherever, and we're going to want you to fly back here for 3 days a week. We'll give you, we'll make you full time, we'll give you 5 times as much money. We want you 2 days a week in LA and 3 days a week here in Virginia Beach. Now you got to ask yourself, who am I? What do I want out of my life? Am I willing to be away from my family, 3 days a week? Then you think, well, I don't have kids yet. I could do that because I can't do it 5 years from now. But you ask, right? But you have to understand who you are. You can't fit the ideas until you know who you are. So he says you have to have clarity, not just intellectually, but you have to have clarity emotionally. So those are the first 4.